Welcome back to the Cozy Cottage Homestead. Today we're going to do some sunflowers. How to harvest sunflower seeds. And use them for snacks for yourself, or they're very healthy for your farm animals such as goats. Chickens enjoy them. Rabbits can even have a few. Once the petals around the outside start turning brown, you will harvest them, cut them off, leaving about 1.5 feet of the stem. And I'll show you how to clean the heads in just a second. Alright, so we have our sunflower here. This is another small one ready to be harvested. You want to leave about 18 inches or so you can hang the sunflower upside down. I leave a few of the leaves towards the end on so that whenever I tie it with twine, it will hang and keep it from sliding right off the string. You'll leave these hanging up for about a week and let them dry out naturally. Preferably on a porch, enclosed porch, to keep insects off of them. You want to remove all this outer green and any petals that's left on. The easiest way to do it is just rub your hand over it and remove all that. It just rubs right off. I like to clean this part first, because if you leave all this stuff on there, when it's time to harvest your seeds, it's more stuff that you're going to have to clean out of your sunflower seeds. You want to be as clean as possible so you have less work to do later. Then I just hold it in my hand and pull off these leaves, because again, they will dry out too, and they will fall into your sunflower seeds when you get ready to take them off of the sunflower head. This is just how I've learned to do it through the years. There's probably other ways to do it, but I want to share with y'all how I harvest my sunflower seeds from my sunflowers. Alright, this little middle part right here, that's just where the sunflowers hasn't completely developed yet. This one here looks like they are developed. Sometimes that center can be a little bit harder to remove. But since this head is completely full, there's sunflowers all the way underneath it. And you could take a rag or something and just kind of wipe it off. I usually just do it with my hands. And then you're going to hang it. Tie you some twine underneath here. Hang it from your porch or somewhere that's out of the weather so that it can dry. As it dries, the back of this will turn yellow and almost white. Sometimes it gets a little black depending on if your area is very humid. Don't worry about that. It's not going to affect your seeds at all. So I'll show you the next step. Alright, the next step is to hang them up. We hung these on the eave of our porch so they can finish drying. When the backs get kind of yellowish, you know they're pretty dried out. These have only been hanging for a couple of days. Some of them are starting to turn more yellow. Now I want to show y'all the heads, how cool they are. They all have different designs within the seeds on the head. It's kind of like a fingerprint. They're all unique and they're all very different. So we're just going to let these hang out here and dry. My porch is an open porch. It would probably be better if you had a screened-in porch so that insects wouldn't attack your seeds or the birds come by and eat them. But that's about all there is to it. You just hang them out and let them dry for about a week. And then you're going to bring them inside and I'll show you the next step. Alright, so these are the dried sunflower heads. You can see the color changes. You just use your thumb and just kind of gently rub across it, and the sunflower seeds will just fall out. I do have a colander to catch it, because it's going to be kind of messy doing it inside, but it's just too hot to do this outside today. So we'll have to clean up a little bit. It's very simple though. You just use your thumb and rub it, and just go towards the outside of the head as you keep turning the head around, and they'll just fall right out. And the ones in the center on this one did not finish developing. So we'll just get kind of close to it. See if there's any good ones. Now, these seeds that I'm doing this time are going to be for the animals. Some of the bigger heads, I would come in here and do the same thing with them. And you want to wash them off if you're going to be using them for roasting. I'm not going to wash these this round because these are going to be for the animals throughout the winter. Here's another one. Just have to find what works for you. Some people can do it with 2 hands, but it's going to make a bigger mess. And catching them in the colander is just going to make it easier to shake out any of the parts of the sunflower that you don't want. Especially if you were making them for roasting. It just makes it easier to clean them. Alright, I'm going to stop right here and show y'all another one in just a second. Alright, sunflower seeds from the last couple of heads are going to be used for the animals for a treat during the winter. Also, these seeds can be used to be replanted for next year for more sunflowers. So I just lined the paper cookie sheet with the paper towel, and I let them finish drying for about another week. Make sure that they're extremely dry before you store them in an airtight container, or in my case a mason jar with an oxygen absorber, just to make sure that they don't mold or go bad. Alright, this sunflower head here has larger seeds in it, so we're going to prepare them for roasting so that we can have us a healthy snack. This one is a little more difficult to do. After you do a couple of them, it gets a little more challenging. I want to show you, right here is not sunflower seeds. That's the part of the sunflower that holds the seeds. You try not to get all that in your seeds because it's more stuff for you to have to clean out. And some of the heads, for whatever reason, they do want to release that part of the plant as well. Like this is where all the sunflower seeds are gone. So the less of that stuff you can get into your collection of seeds, the better it is. The less work you have to do to try to clean it out. And I think I'm just going to go ahead and leave some of this that's more difficult, and my goats are going to enjoy them. Give it a little shake. Alright, so now you want to pick up all your mess, throw it back in the colander, and then you want to rinse these under water for a little. It takes a little bit, just rinse it for a little while. And you might want to use a colander with big enough holes to where some of this stuff can drain out. You just want to get it as clean as possible. Just give them a good rinse. Most of the little stuff that's not supposed to be in there will just fall out. So that way you make sure there's no insect waste on it, or insects, or dirt and dust and pollen. Even though you're going to, if you want to roast them, still to make sure they're clean. These heads have been drying for about a week or so, so I know they're ready to be roasted and prepared for making sunflower seeds. Alright, so just going to let them drip for a few minutes. Get off as much water as you can. Alright, I have another cookie sheet lined with the kitchen towel, and I have these little grades that are used for barbecuing. I have used them to dehydrate plenty of fruits and vegetables and seeds. They work great. So just dump them all on there so that they can finish drying out. You can let these dry out naturally for about another week and enjoy them just as they are. Or you could get you a pot of boiling water, maybe 6 to 8 cups of water, and put however many sunflower seeds you want in there to where they can boil freely, and about 1/4 of a cup of salt. And let them boil, come to a boil, and then let them simmer for about 15 to 20 minutes. After they get done simmering, you're going to drain them again in a colander and then put them on a cookie sheet, lightly greased, and roast them for about 20 to 25 minutes at 400 degrees. Every once in a while, you want to stir them around to make sure they're not burning on the bottom. After that, all you do is let them cool off completely and enjoy some fresh roasted sunflower seeds, or store them in an airtight container and enjoy them for weeks and weeks to come. Farewell, Homestead family, friends, and neighbors, and thanks for joining me today from the Cozy Cottage Homestead.